What's up everybody, Adrian here. This is going to be my Halloween 2018 official non-spoiler review. I just went to see the movie, so it's literally fresh in my mind. The first half of the film is nothing but callbacks, homages, shot for shot scenes from the original and even some from the other Halloween sequels. That happens more than half of the movie, even all the way to the very end. You're like, oh, that's a real big callback. Oh, that's a real big homage. Oh, I see how they switched it. Like they try to do a callback instead of doing exactly shot for shot. They just reversed the characters that were, with the homage. So you're thinking like, oh, I remember when they did it in the original, but they just switched it around. I see. You're trying to be clever, David Gordon Green, but I'm on to you. Half of the movie is nothing but jump scares. Jump scares, nothing but jump scares everywhere. Repetitive, to the point where it got annoying. The jump scares were not even, like, a couple of jump scares here and there were clever, but then non-stop every couple of minutes, jump scare, jump scare, jump scare. And then when they were running out of the clever ideas, which was really fast, they repeated the same jump scare, the same scenario over and over again. So for example, without spoiling it, like, someone would jump on the staircase and be like, gotcha! And then it'd be like, or another person literally jump in onto the staircase saying like, see, you're not, I got you again! Or someone was in a room and they're like, oh my god, what's happening in the room? You can't see them. And then they jump out of the room to scare you. I'm like, we just saw that 14 times, but you want to do it 15, 16, 17 more times. All the trailers and all the TV spots, they spoiled the majority of the movie. Not the very, very end of what happens to Michael, but if you just watch the first trailer, second trailer, all the little TV clips, like, it's every scene in there, basically every scene, and especially that closet scene that happened in the trailers. So when it happened in the movie, you're like, oh, he's in a closet. I'm not gonna get scared. Or that scene in the trailer where Laurie is in her house and she's looking out the door, the window of the door, and then Michael Myers busts through with his hand and chokes her and stuff. You're like, I knew that was gonna happen. No more tension. You have the two reporters, British reporters, they're going to the insane asylum and they take the mask and they agitate Michael Myers. You see part of Michael Myers' eye and face, just like the trailer. Then they go talk to Laurie. That happened in the trailer. Okay? Now, the characters. Every man, male, kid, male character is the dumbest, the useless, and the weakest, the most feminized looking, weak-minded, weak physically, they're hipsters, they're very feminine looking men. For example, the father, right off the bat, he's like a bumbling idiot that says stupid stuff. He's like the Three Stooges type character where he's like, oops, ow, I hurt myself. And then he says, there's a scene, this is not even a spoiler. You just see him playing with a yo-yo. He's just playing with a dumb yo-yo. What? Then you have the boyfriend, he's like a hipster, he doesn't care. He's one of those characters who I don't care about anything, oh, big deal. Whatever. And then the girl's like, shut up. And he's like, okay, I'll shut up. Okay. Then you have the British reporter guy. He's like the weakest, feminine guy ever. Okay. When he tries to do something heroic or go toe to toe with somebody, he gets swatted aside like a wimp, like a fly. It was a joke. Then you have, so you had like two girls, right? One of the girls' boyfriend was that hipster, oh, I don't care about nothing. Then like the granddaughter had a boyfriend, and right away, like the way they introduced him was like so confusing because you're like, who is this girly looking, he had like medium hair, like curly, it's like he was like combing it, I don't know, like he looked very curly Sue-ish, like he looked feminine. I'm like, that's the type of guys these girls are falling for right now? Okay, whatever, don't want to judge. And then you have like another friend who literally I did not know if he's a guy or a girl. He reminded me of Pat from Saturday Night Live, you know that character skit Pat, who like, he kind of looked like Pat. He was kind of chubby and with the curly hair, and you didn't know, like, is he a man? Is he a girl? Like, obviously he's a guy because they, they said it, but right away, like, he's very androgynous. Right away when they introduced the granddaughter with her boyfriend who was very feminine, I didn't even know that was her boyfriend at first. I thought that was a guy friend. And then that Pat androgynous guy showed up, and I thought, oh, so the Pat looking guy is the boyfriend of the granddaughter's guy friend. Because the Pat character kisses the guy on the forehead, kind of like feminine time. I'm like, why are they kissing? And I thought they were like supposed to be like a gay couple. So they tried to do some character development with the men, but it's useless. Like, they took it right to the edge, and just when you thought they were gonna add more to the character's backstory, nope, they stopped. The most character backstory you got is Lori. I liked her backstory character. Like, she's really dealing with everything, and everybody thinks she's crazy, but she's the most prepared. Lori's daughter is dismissing her about being prepared because Lori's always saying, haven't I taught you how to prepare, and I taught you how to use the gun and how to, and she's like, yeah, whatever, you're crazy. And then even the granddaughter's like, oh, you're crazy, like, I tried to give you a second chance, and then turns out she's not crazy, she's the most sane person, towards the end of the movie. And then everybody just flips and is like, okay, help me, Lori, help me, you were right, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's the most character development you got. With the granddaughter, you get very minuscule. Her backstory is just like, oh, I had a crazy grandmother, and my mom was kind of crazy too, but she got taken away from her mom, from Lori, and that's about it. Then the actual daughter of Lori, who's the mom of the granddaughter, you got a little bit more backstory where she explains like, oh, I was dealing with, my mom. She was crazy. She was teaching me how to shoot a gun at 8. She was teaching me how to fight and hand-to-hand combat, how to use knives, how to clean a gun, how to shoot a gun, everything, But then social services took me away from my mom because she was crazy. So that's the most backstory you got. Then you have this other character, this Dr. Loomis replacement, because Lori even says like, who are you? Oh, you're the new Loomis. There's like a clever twist that you kind of see coming, but not really. And how it's said in the trailer, like, oh, the bus crashed. And I'm like, oh, convenient plot. If the bus never crashed, it never would have been a movie. But they kind of give a good enough reason to why the bus crashed. And you're like, okay, they tried. Good job. I'll give them that. Instead of just, out of random, the bus crash. But no, there's a reason why. The two reporters, pretty much what you see in the trailers is pretty much they're gonna die. They die really quickly. So I'm not spoiling that. There's not much character development, like, you don't need to know. And so all the male characters, you don't really care about them, so when they get killed off, you're like, whatever. The two reporters, you don't care about them, so when they get killed off, like in the trailers, you don't care. I like how they paced the kills. It was like, not as gruesome kills like, hack and slash typical stuff. But then as the movie progressed, it got more and more gruesome, more and more violent. The kills almost got repetitive at the beginning because Michael was either stabbing somebody, choking someone to death, or that's it. Stab or choke. Stab or choke. After like a while and it got towards the end, Michael started switching up his kills and he's like, oh, okay, like he killed this guy a more brutal, different way. Here's another jump scare they would do. They would be nice and quiet. You're like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Suspenseful, building up the tension. And then cut to a quick loud sound. Cut to the quick music at the party, at the Halloween party. Quick to someone screaming for no reason. Quick to someone jumping in the front of the screen. Nice and quiet. A car. Nice and quiet. A bird. Nice and quiet. More music. Nice and quiet. Another car. So, I don't know why they were doing that. It's almost like they were trying to cover up that the story wasn't really that good. It's like they were trying to burn minutes. They were trying to kill time because they didn't know what to do next. So they're like, let's just throw in another jump scare. You're only focused on Laurie, the granddaughter, the daughter, and Michael Myers. And also the sheriff, not much story, but he's the same. He's one of the same deputy sheriffs, the assistant of the original sheriff. So they brought him back. But not much backstory. Nothing about him really. So you had that other Loomis character. He kind of sounded like Loomis at times, like that raspy, like shot him 6 times. Like he kind of had that raspiness at some parts in his dialogue. So I'm like, okay, I see how there. But he didn't look like Loomis at all. The middle of the movie is basically like a survival movie where Michael Myers is coming after Laurie, the daughter, the granddaughter, and they're hiding in that fortress in the woods. You saw that in the trailers. Now, something I didn't understand about that fortress, because they built up the fortress at the beginning with those 2 reporters, that the reporters drove a long way deep in the woods, and it's like off a road that you can't really find, and everything is camouflaged with trees and leaves. Even the gigantic gate that no one can get through. Cameras everywhere. Booby traps everywhere. Mannequins everywhere. Like the 2 reporters drive up to the gate and they try to, talk to Laurie and through the intercom, and she lets them in for an interview. You saw that in the trailer. And so they built up this fortress like it's impenetrable. But at the end, anybody can walk through. You got cops walking through, sheriff walking through, Michael walking through, the daughter walking through, the granddaughter walking through. You can just walk right up there. There's no more booby traps, no more sensors, no more cameras. Nobody's watching the surveillance footage. There's no, laser beams that are tripping, to let the lights on, to let the cameras on, to let the alarm on. Nothing. The daughter just runs into the woods. There she is in the house. Whatever. Where's Michael Myers? Oh, there he is. Magically blinks. There he is in the house. Like, what happened to all the surveillance, to the booby traps, to the cameras? What happened? This fortress was impenetrable. Nope. I could just walk up to it. There's not even any gate. And by the way, the gate, even in the beginning, you could just hop the gate, but you had the cameras, the booby traps, the surveillance, the alarms. You had all that. So you could try to hop over, but you would get caught right away instantly. But at the end, no more gate. You could just hop the gate. No one's gonna see you. No one's gonna see you even when you walk up right to the house. Where's Michael? In the house. How did he get in the house? The daughter was like, Laurie taught her how to shoot a gun, but at the end you're like, I don't know how to do it, oh my God, help me. Like, Mom, help me. Laurie, I can't shoot the gun, I'm scared. And there's like a little twist. In that moment, that's when the audience was like, oh shit. Not that. I gotta give him a clap on that. I was not expecting that little twist at the end. So I gotta give him a clap on that. The ending, obviously, there's gonna be a sequel. You know, I'm not spoiling nothing when you know they haven't killed Michael off for, what, 11 films, 10 films? I lost count. They're not gonna kill him off for this film. So it's like open-ended. And they kind of copied the way they killed Michael from another film. So it's another homage, or callback, or tribute, or copy shot for shot. It's very weird what happened in the end. You just see the granddaughter, the daughter, and Laurie in the back of a truck after getting away from Michael, whatever. But you don't know if they're dead or alive. That's all I'm gonna say. You don't know. And the camera focuses on very specific parts of Laurie and the daughter and the granddaughter, and a knife and blood and a specific wound, and then the movie just ends. So you don't know what's happening. It was very fast. So you don't know what's going on. So that's very interesting, because you almost want to go see it again just for the ending. The music was awesome. They had the original music, but they also remixed it in a lot of different ways. The sound effects were cool. They had this guitar riff, how they kind of copied that typical sound effect that Inception would use, or Batman, that horn thing. But they did a twist guitar riff on it that was pretty cool. They did this different remixes of the original John Carpenter song and sound effects. And John Carpenter actually and his son made the music for this film, so he could do what he wanted. And even at the beginning, they had the original orange bold subtitles with the pumpkin. Very simple. No crazy special effects, no CGI, no, 007, 12-hour opening, classic. They even had the original producer, that Akkad guy. They put his name in orange bold letters with the iconic music, awesome. And you had just a pumpkin that was decomposing and rotting, in reverse, undecomposing and unrotting, and then close up on the jack-o'-lantern with the music and the orange bold lettering. Awesome. Music was great. Characters were not enough character development, especially for the weak males. They were useless. Even the characters that they tried to develop, Laurie was as much developed as you're gonna get, so she's fine. The granddaughter, very little character development, but you liked her because she's the granddaughter of Laurie. The daughter of Laurie, she had a little bit more character development about growing up and how Laurie was trying to teach her to survive. So you kind of liked her a little bit, but not really. They took it right to the edge, and then instead of going that extra inch or mile, they backed off from the edge. We're like, yeah, whatever, here you go. It was not original at all, because it was constant jump scares to the point where it was getting annoying. A lot of, callbacks, homages, shot for shot, to the point where it was getting annoying. Even at the end, when you thought that they stopped and they haven't done it for a while, nope. They did it in very big iconic scenes where they reshot it shot for shot, but they just switched the characters out a little bit. So, but it was good. They tried to throw a lot of glitter and glam and, jump scares and homages and twists, and they tried to be suspenseful, and it kind of worked. If you're a huge fan of the Halloween franchise, you're gonna like this film, unless you're just like one of those robots where you're like, this is the greatest film of all time, they can do no wrong. I love 1,000 jump scares. I love shot for shot remakes. Like, so, but if you want to be honest with yourself, it was okay. It was good enough. Good enough for these days. Good enough to get a sequel. I will applaud them for the marketing, because they knew the film was okay. And they threw everything they had at it. With the fans, with the early reviews, with the, Jamie Lee Curtis giving everything they got. And giving everything she's got to promote this film. And some of those early reviews were a little bit exaggerated, I believe. But it was good. Was it the greatest Halloween of all time? No. Was it better than the original? No, because the original was original. You were seeing all the stuff that you already saw in this remake with the homages and shot for shot and jump scares in the original film, and even in the original sequel. You were seeing new things that you've never seen before. Like when he was in the closet, like when, the light was, like Michael Myers was hiding in the closet and the light slowly got lighter and lighter, and then his mask came in. You saw that for the very first time. When Michael got shot and he fell over the balcony and then Loomis looked again and he was gone. You saw that for the very first time. But in this movie, nothing original. So, more than half of the movie, especially the first half, was nothing original. Then you got a little bit more originality, but then right at the end, nothing but seen it, remake, seen it, and then jump scare to the point where you were expecting another jump scare, and when you didn't get it, you're like, son of a bitch. They should have put in another one just to make it an even 100. Would I recommend seeing it? Of course, because that's why I applaud the marketing. It was more like an event. The movie was but it was more like an event. And they did a good job with the marketing, building up this film as if like it was the greatest of all time. But when you go into the movie, you're not gonna see anything new. You're not gonna see crazy character development. You're gonna see a lot of stupid characters, a lot of weak male characters, a lot of strong Mary Sue female characters that don't really need to evolve or advance or learn anything. They're just there and ready, and Michael is there, and he's just there to be, pushed around, and big bad woman is gonna come and save the day. But I still like the movie. It was good. Out of 10 stars, I'll give it 6.5. Maybe a 7 if you're a super Halloween fan. And 6.5, 6 to 6.5. It's not a horrible movie. It's not like a failure, but it's not like, I can't give it an 8. No way I can't give it an 8 because nothing's original. So, and then the characters are just so one-dimensional, they never take it to the next level. So until next time, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like, share this video, hit me up on Facebook and Twitter, comment down below. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell. And also don't forget to check out my other videos. And until next time, remember my motto, where story comes first.